What's up, Night Owl? Steely here, back with another video, and today I'm going to be telling you about the Rime of the Frostmaiden Chapter 2 location, Cave of the Beserkers. The Berserker Cave is located about 20 miles east of East Haven. This cave is home to a group of Berserkers that have splintered off from the tribe of the Bear, and exposure to Charlin has caused these Berserkers to succumb to madness. These Berserkers no longer consider themselves Bear Tribe and have decided to pledge their loyalty to the Frostmaiden. As a reward, the Frostmaiden has given them a stone brazier inside of the cave with a blue flame. As long as this blue flame is lit, a berserker within this cave cannot be killed. They also share this cave with a pair of white dragon wormlings that recently hatched from eggs that the berserkers stole from a glacial rift. These two wormlings, named Gellum and Tizer, guard the cave while the berserkers are out hunting. Now, the book says that the party will hear about this cave from one of the tall tales at the chart at the beginning of chapter 2, but I couldn't find any mention of the cave or the berserkers in the tall tales chart. Maybe I'm overlooking it, maybe it got cut. If I missed it, let me know in the comments. But in my opinion, the best way to find this cave is to have a random encounter with a group of the Charlin berserkers. One of the berserkers in the encounter will be wearing a ring that the Frostmaiden has enchanted, and if a party member removes that ring, every creature within 100 feet gets engulfed in a cyclone of snow and then teleported to the cave of the Berserkers. Once the party finds this cave or they're teleported to it, they're going to be standing before an icy path, Area 1. This path is an elevated causeway covered with snow, and it winds towards the mouth of the Berserker cave. There are tracks in the snow that the party can notice of at least 4 humans, and on either side of the causeway is a steep slope that plunges 20 feet into a ravine. If a character decides to have a look around with a DC 10 perception check, they can notice the opening in the cliff near the bottom of the ravine east of the causeway that leads to Area 4. Area 2 is the entrance to the cave, and it's in the shape of a bear's head. If a party member makes a lot of noise here, it will attract the 2 white dragon wormlings in Area 4, who will attempt to flank the party by splitting up, one going through Area 3 and the other going through the waste chute. Running these white dragons won't be particularly difficult. They're going to use their breath weapon as much as they can and hit as many targets as they can. And once they lose that, they're just going to proceed to bite party members. Area 3 is the eggshells and cells. As the party passes through the bear's head, they'll climb a 5-foot icy ramp, which leads to 2 alcoves in the north wall with rusty iron gates. Each of these cells has fragments of a bluish-white eggshell that must have been as large as a halfling. With a DC 13 nature check, a character can figure out that these are white dragon eggs that hatched about 3 years ago. Any noise here will also alert the white dragon wormlings, and this could come from rattling the chains or even opening the gates leading to these alcoves. And again, these dragons will attempt to flank the party, one coming in from Area 4 into Area 3, and the other will go down the waste chute and come around. Area 4 is the waste chute, and if the party hasn't alerted the white dragons yet, they will be here, and they will attack any creature that enters their den. The stone chute is 25 feet long, and it empties into the ravine outside. Without magic or climbing gear, a character will need a DC 15 athletics check to ascend or descend. If a character fails this check by 5 or more, they slip and tumble into the ravine, landing in soft snow. Gore from the Slaughterhouse and human waste is routinely dumped down this chute, which is stained with blood and filth and probably smells horrible. The 2 white dragons have already started collecting treasures and building their small baby hoard, consisting of 96 silver pieces, 331 copper pieces, and a leather wallet with a set of thieves' tools and a spyglass worth 250 gold pieces. There's also a spell scroll of knock here. Area 5 is where the party will find the Frostmaiden's gift to these berserkers, the Brazier of Blue Fire. A detect magic spell will reveal a powerful aura of abjuration magic. The brazier can't be moved or damaged, and its magical flame can't be smothered or put out with water. If a creature comes into contact with the fire, they're going to take 3d6 cold damage. A dispel magic will snuff the fire out for 1 hour, after which the fire will reignite on its own. The only listing that the book has to get rid of this brazier for good is to use a stone shape to alter the shape of the brazier. But if the party is clever, you can have them destroy it some other way. As long as this brazier's cold fire burns, Charlin berserkers inside the cave cannot drop below 1 hit point. And this only affects Charlin berserkers, not the white dragons or any other allies to the berserkers. While it's not noticeable what's causing these Charlin berserkers to shrug off Damage. Character fights a berserker inside this cave while the blue fire is lit. They will see them shake off damage that would normally have killed them. Now, as it stands, there's no way that the party will know that this brazier is a gift from the Frostmaiden, and the Chartland Berserkers aren't exactly going to stop and have a conversation about it. So if you want to hint at the origins of this brazier and maybe kind of tie things together about how these Berserkers serve the Frostmaiden, and that's what they're all about, you can add some flavor to this brazier, maybe a couple of runes, have the symbol of the Frostmaiden on the brazier itself, maybe even have the voice of the Frostmaiden coming through the flame. Little things like that, something to hint at the fact that the Frostmaiden is involved in this cave and is providing for her servants, which are these Berserkers. Any chance, any opportunity that you have to kind of hint that the Frostmaiden is there. I personally feel that there's not enough of that in this in these first few chapters. So things like the Cold Light Walker and her voice on the wind, these are really great ways to to show the party that she is there and that she is watching. Area 6 is the Slaughterhouse. Here the party will find a Chartland Berserker that has just finished butchering a snowy owlbear. The Berserker lured this owlbear into the cave so it could get the benefits of the blue brazier while it fought it. This Berserker will grab its weapons and attack any intruders on sight. As far as how to run these Chartland Berserkers in combat, it's all about managing their advantage and disadvantage. Their weapons do cause targets to be poisoned, which causes them to swing at disadvantage, which means that they can use their reckless attack without having to worry about the drawbacks, which is that targets that swing at them have advantage. If they're poisoned, the targets will swing at them with a regular swing rather than advantage and disadvantage. So that will be your primary challenge, I guess, for running these Chartland Berserkers in combat, is to just manage who is swinging at them. Like if the entire party is ganged up on one of them and nobody's poisoned, they probably won't use that reckless attack. So just be really tactical about how they use their reckless attack and how they apply poison to their targets. These guys are all about managing their advantage and disadvantage in combat. They're not particularly intelligent, so their combat tactics won't be that outstanding, but advantage and disadvantage will be their primary tactics, as well as their applying poison with their Chartland weapons. Area 7 is meat storage. Inside here is 80 pounds of fresh meat that are being stored, which comes from various beasts such as polar bears, elk, and all of it is safe to cook and eat. If the party decides to collect some of this meat and bring it back to Tin Towns, they can sell it for 5 silver pieces per pound. Area 8 is the living quarters. In here, there is a 10-foot deep fissure with a wooden plank that spans the gap. There's also 4 sleeping pallets covered in furs that lie on the floor, and this can hint to the party that there's at least 3 more Berserkers nearby. There's also a wooden pail that's used as a chamber pot, and it is currently empty. Once the party is done with this cave and decide to leave, they're going to encounter the last 3 Berserkers who are coming back from a hunt, 2 of which are carrying the Periton that they just killed, and 1 is leading the way to the cave. Unless the party is being sneaky, both groups will be aware of each other, and the Chartland Berserkers will do everything they can to reach the cave in order to get the benefits of the blue fire. They will not know, however, if the blue fire has been extinguished or not until one of them actually dies. Once the party is done with this cave, and if they were teleported here by the magical ring, you can kind of lead this into a Lost in the Wilderness type session. You can even go so far as to say that the Frostmaiden is upset with the party for killing her followers or maybe destroying her blue brazier, and so she creates this blizzard and sends a Cold Light Walker after him. Whatever you would like to do, you can spice this up by having them kind of wandering through the wilderness lost in the blizzard, and you can even use this as a way to segue to the next location that you plan on running. Maybe you can leave them on a cliffhanger. Maybe they're lost in the wilderness and they stumble across whichever location that you want to run, and then pick it up on the next session. You can run that next location, or you just go lead straight into it. It's up to you, however you want to do that. That's just my suggestion. This leads a very good opportunity to kind of have the party lost in the wilderness, and you can really just have them explore Icewind Dale without knowing where Tin Towns is. Or you could just brush that aside and have them kind of know which direction. At least, they know what way north is, so they can kind of gauge where they are. They know they're in the spine of the world, so they can track down Tin Towns. This is really up to you, but there is an opportunity to have a lost in the wilderness scenario if your party would be up for it. And And that's it for the Berserker Cave. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, you know how YouTube works. Hit those buttons, leave a comment down below. Let me know what your favorite of the Chapter 2 locations is. And if you want to join this D&D community, make sure you join the Discord. Link in the description. Come by, ask questions, let me know what you think. And as always, I'll see you at sundown.